Hi guys, I'm Caitlin and this is Book Chats, and this is a long overdue Booktuber Shoutout Tag. I was tagged in this tag last year, like an entire year ago, last summer when it was going around Booktube, when it was relatively new, by multiple people. In fact, I didn't write down who tagged me, and I should have because I was like, I can't remember. It helped me at a time when I really needed to build my channel, and it helped me to feel so loved and like such a part of the community. And at the time I was like, this is awesome, I need to do this tag, but I feel like all of my answers would be exactly the same as everyone else's answers. And so I waited and I waited and I waited, and then next thing I knew, it was an entire year. And so I am finally sitting down and I'm completing this tag, and hopefully some of my answers will be different and new and not what they would have been last year. And this tag was created by Trina from Between Chapters. And this is going to be a long one, guys, because I'm just going to, I can't even express to you how wonderful each of these booktubers are. So I am sorry, I'm just going to like word vomit their amazingness. But the very first question is, who was the first booktuber you discovered and what was the video? So I think I actually stumbled upon booktubers variously at various points in time, way back when people were making like book trailers, and then even then after that I stumbled upon a couple of reviews, but I was not interested in Booktube. I didn't like Booktube. The couple of people I stumbled upon were difficult for me to watch personally. And then one day I was introduced to Lainey from Ginger Reads Lainey, and I specifically remember, I think Lainey's the one who remembered this for me. I specifically remember that what happened was Lainey was doing a read-along of Laini Taylor's work, The Daughter of Smoke and Bone, and she tweeted about it, and Laini Taylor like tweeted about Lainey doing that. And that's how I found Lainey and her channel, and I started watching her videos, and I love Lainey's videos. I love the way that she would talk about not just like popular YA, but also like thrillers that she reads, murder mysteries that she reads. She was just reading these things that were not necessarily what I expected, and I loved it. And so she became my first booktuber, and she was my gateway into booktubing. And I am like eternally grateful forever to her for that. Who is the most recent booktuber you subscribed to? When I wrote these answers, this was true, but I think I've since subscribed to a couple more, so I'm really sorry. I will put them in the doobly-doo after I look them up. But when I was writing this, I had just subscribed to Francina Simone. If you haven't seen her videos, you definitely should. She is not afraid to speak her mind, and in a way that is not like, I mean, she like rants, but in an uplifting way. I don't know how to explain this, but like she's offering, when she is discussing things, she offers like possible solutions. She doesn't just like complain. She offers possible solutions. She offers things that are practical things that I can do. And her videos are hilarious and wonderful, and I love them. And I like saw one of her videos recently because of some diversity stuff that was going down on Twitter, and I loved it. And then I like spent the next hour watching more of her videos when I really should have been sleeping. Did any booktubers inspire you to start your own channel? Lainey from Ginger Reads Lainey, of course. She had a great advice video that I really liked. And also Ashley from Climb the Stacks. If you guys have not watched Ashley's videos, you should definitely check them out, especially if you're someone who wants more kind of literary criticism in your videos, who wants someone who reads more kind of adult novels. Ashley has really smart things to say. And she did a great advice video that I also watched that gave me some of the best advice on YouTube, which was like about setting your goals, being realistic about your goals, and like having a goal for your channel that is not necessarily like the booktube goal, but is your personal goal, and that is what matters. Question number 4, name a booktuber or booktubers that have been with you since the beginning of your channel. I think there are 3 booktubers that were with me at the beginning, that have been there the whole through, and that are still booktubing themselves. And I think that it is Morgan from Little Word Weaver, Rebecca from Why Mermaids, and April Sara from April Sara. I know that Rebecca started a little bit sooner than me, but not very much. And I know that Morgan started like 1 week before me. And then I think April Sara started about the time I did, which we all started around January of 2015. If I can give any advice, if you're starting out on Booktube, what I would say is go out there and meet people who are starting around the same time as you, because you will go through similar milestones together. You go through similar struggles together. You'll go through similar like building and growing as a content creator together. And I am just so close to these girls. I love them to pieces, and I am just like so glad that we are friends. Cherish the people who start with you, and if you start and you don't know who started with you, go find them. Number 5, name a booktuber that you have followed since their beginning. This is a little bit of a cheat because this is someone that I was friends with previously, but I was so happy when she started her channel, and I love her videos, and she needs to post more. And that is Stephanie from Shy Notebooks. If you guys haven't seen her videos, she does a really interesting style. She basically like draws and then like narrates her drawings, and it's awesome. And I did a collab with her once, and it is super hard to draw for your videos. Like, I don't know how she does it every time. So creative and wonderful. So anyway, Stephanie from Shy Notebooks, you should check her out. Question number 6. Name a booktuber whose creativity you love. I have 3 booktubers here who I love their creativity, and I'm going to tell you about the types of videos that I love the most from them. The first of them is Mari, or Marinez, from My Name is Marinez. My favorite videos of hers that are so creative are her collaborative videos. If you get a chance to do a collaborative video with Mari, she is wonderful and amazing. The very first time I saw them, she did this like Goosebumps choose your own adventure, and she had like a bunch of people, different people like do it, and they read it and described it and like described themselves going through, and then she assembled it in a way that you could choose your own adventure too as a viewer, and it was just so creative and wonderful. I'm then going to re-mention Ashley from Climb the Stacks. My favorite of her videos are the videos where basically she'll go through an author that people are intimidated by, and she will have read several of the author's books, and she will talk about those books, and she will recommend where to start with that author. So she has one for Salinger. She has one for Murakami. I believe she has one for Hemingway. Like, she does these great videos that analyze the body of work of these authors, and also suggest where you should start if you're scared and intimidated and you don't know where to start, but you want to read more of these classics or modern classics. And I cannot highly recommend them enough, and she puts so much thought into them, and they're awesome, and they're unlike anything I have seen elsewhere on YouTube, which doesn't mean it doesn't exist elsewhere on the YouTube, it just means I haven't found it. And then the third booktuber I'm going to talk about is someone who, again, has one specific series of videos that I think are amazing. That is Arthur from Chapter Select. All of his videos are pretty great. The ones that I think are really creative and really amazing and just above and beyond are his Decoding Disney videos. So what he does is he will choose a book that inspired a Disney film, and he will read the book in the month, and then he will watch the Disney film, and then he does all of this research into kind of the genesis of that Disney film, the ways that it connects to the book, all of these other things, and then he does these really well put together, very interesting videos where he's like, hey, let's talk about 101 Dalmatians, the book, the movie, what was different, what was the same, what was great, what was not, and let's talk about the history of this Disney film, where it came from. And they're just, you can tell he puts so much work into them. They're so well done. They're quite amazing, and I feel like they are like straddling this great line between nostalgia and these films you saw as a kid and loved, and also like these books you didn't even know existed. Like, who knew that 101 Dalmatians was based on a book? Not me. Not this girl. And they're great, and they're really good content, so I'm going to link to those below, and you should watch them, and you should watch Arthur's channel. Question number 7. We're about halfway through, guys. This is a very long video. I'm sorry, but I love all of you. Name a booktuber whose positivity you love. I have 2 booktubers that are just the most positive people I can think of and are amazing. One of them is Casey from A Basket Casey Reads. I love Casey so much. I love her videos. She is so bubbly and positive and wonderful in them, and she manages to be critical of work and also be positive about it at the same time, and I just she's amazing. And if you haven't seen her videos, you need to check them out. The other booktuber is Sara Ella from Sara Ella. Any of you who have seen her channel or any of her videos know that she is just so wonderful, so positive, and I am just so excited for her. And I think this is one of the reasons that so many of us are excited for her book, which is being published in October, Unblemished. It'll be out on October 11th. I have pre-ordered it. I sometimes stock my pre-order on Amazon to see if somehow it magically gets sent out earlier. Anyway, I'm so excited for Sara Ella and for this publishing journey that she's going on, and if you haven't seen any of her videos, you should watch them. She is the sweetest person on Booktube, flat out. Question number 8. Name a booktuber whose honesty you admire. I actually have 3 booktubers on this list that I'm going to talk about. The first is Mari from My Name is Marinez, whose name I probably am mispronouncing and I feel very bad about because she is very this is my name. I'm so sorry, Mari. I'm so sorry that I have failure of tongue to pronounce things. Anyway, I love Mari for her collaborative videos, which I have previously talked about, but I also love her 1 and 2 star reviews. They're so good, guys. I literally take popcorn and I watch them and then I watch them again. And the funny thing is often, not always, but often she's reviewing books that I have read and enjoyed. But everything she says is totally right, guys. It's totally right. She has this very finely honed sense of critique. Check out her channel and check out her 1-star reviews because they're wonderful. They're so wonderful. You might want to start with a book you didn't like so that just in case it's too hard to take it for a book you liked. Honestly, if Mari gave a 1-star review of a book by my absolute favorite author, Melina Marchetta, I would probably cry. And I don't know if she's read it yet, but at some point she's going to read Bone Gap, and I really want to know what she thinks of it, but I'm also deeply afraid that she'll hate it. But she has the best 1-star review of Throne of Glass. It's so wonderful. It might even be a 2-star, but I think it's a 1-star, and it just makes me smile every time I watch it. Joss from Squibbles Reads. I love Joss. I will talk about her again on this list for another category. But one of the things I really love about Joss is that she is also not afraid to tell it like it is and to be honest about books. And specifically, she, for me, is always calling attention to being aware of people of color. And it is just in a way that is so necessary for me especially. And she's often honest about hey, I tried to pick up this popular YA series and I didn't like it. She tried to read An Ember in the Ashes, which I love. You guys know I'm Helene trash. And she just couldn't read it because she just didn't like it. So the third booktuber I'm going to highlight for their honesty is Christina from Christina Marie. I'm not sure if that's actually her channel name, but her channel, I'll link it below. This is straight up for one specific video, which is when Christina called out the entire booktube community for our lack of speaking up on issues that people of color face day to day in this country, for our speaking up with acute incidents like the terrible shootings in Orlando or the latest drama on Booktube, but not facing the fact that multiple unarmed Black men have been killed by cops this year and we don't talk about it. And it was really convicting to me. It was so honest, and it really made me think. Those are my my lovely ladies who are all about the truth bombs all the time. You women are awesome. Question number 9, name a booktuber who always makes you laugh. I have 2 for this. One of them, when she is doing a somewhat humorous video, makes me laugh, but doesn't make me laugh when she's being serious. And the other one, I feel all of her videos are humorous and silly and wonderful, and so I pretty much always laugh at her. But the first is Kristen from Cap89X. I love Kristen's videos. I love the videos she does about video games. I love the videos she does about books. I love the videos she does with her dog, where they unbox BarkBox together. They're wonderful, and they will make you laugh and cry and just emotions. I really miss my dogs. Kristen's channel is great, and she often makes me smile. The other person is Shammi from Read Like Wildfire. I hope that I said that correctly. She is an Australian booktuber and is just really funny. She just recently did a video because she hit 10,000 subscribers, I think, and she bought a cake and candles, and she was going to do this whole thing. And then, I won't spoil it for you guys, but something happens to the cake, and the way she reacted to it was just really funny. And that girl, her facial expressions, her tone of voice, everything about her just makes me giggle when I watch her videos, and it's really great. Question number 10. Name a super friendly booktuber, someone always leaving comments or replying to yours. I have 4 people I'm going to highlight for this because I really think these people are wonderful. They're super friendly. They comment all over. That is Michelle from Michelle is Life, Jen from Today in Jen's Library, Kimberly from Kimberly's Mindstorm, and Carrie from Quill Cafe. All of these people I noticed initially because I saw them in the community. I saw them commenting. I saw them commenting on my video or other people's videos. Some of them even have other YouTube community friends and interaction, and just each of them is so wonderful. They do great work on their channels, and they also interact with your channels and with other people's channels in such a great way. And each of them is so valuable to this community in the way that they are friendly and the way that they foster discussion and the way that they just approach it as a community. Question number 11. Name a booktuber who always makes you add books to your TBR. 3 booktubers made this list, although many of you make me add books to my TBR. Those ladies are Joss from Scribbles Reads, who I've already talked about at length. Joss is really smart. She has really great things to say about books, and she reads a lot of books that I don't necessarily, so very aspirationally, I put a lot of the books she recommends on my list because I'm like, I want to be more like Joss and read these smart books and sound like a smart person. Then, in a similar way, Jane from Yes, Miss Jane, she reads a lot of really great like adult sci-fi fantasy stuff, and she speaks about it so well, and I'm always adding books to my TBR from her videos. In fact, I haven't watched one of her videos in a while because I kind of had to stop watching them because I was adding too many books to my TBR, but I will watch them again soon. The one book I actually have gotten to that she recommended was so good. It was one of my favorite books that I read last year. It was just very deep. It was very poignant. It was very moving, and I would never have known about it or picked up if it wasn't for Jane. So check out her channel. She is great. And then Sara from Sara Ann Reads. I have been trying to read more Christian books and Christian fiction and nonfiction. And Sara, I feel like, is always reading, like, I'm like following her on Instagram or like watching her videos, and she'll like pop up this like Christian nonfiction book, and I'll look at it and be like, I should read that. She said it was good. It looks interesting. I should read that. So like that specifically, I am like always adding to my list from her videos. Question number 12. Name a booktuber who has similar taste in books to you. This is a little bit of a cheat because this was someone who I knew had similar taste in books to me before they were on Booktube. So that is Stephanie from Shy Notebooks. I did an entire video about how we call ourselves book twins and what that really means. But it's a little bit of a cheat for me to choose Stephanie because I knew her before I was on Booktube. And Stephanie doesn't actually have exactly the same taste in books as me. She doesn't read as much nonfiction as I do, and she also reads much more deeply in some of the genres that I read more shallowly in. So I'm actually going to ask you guys, like, you watch my videos, you have a sense of what my taste in books might be. Who reads books like me? Like, who has similar taste in books to me on YouTube? And specifically, like, I don't really know a lot of other booktubers who read nonfiction regularly. Like, can you guys give me a tip off? Like, who else reads nonfiction on YouTube? Let me know down below. I'm really curious. If you read a lot of nonfiction, let me know. If you think that we have similar taste in books, let me know. Give me recommendations for this question down below. Question number 13. Name a booktuber with different taste in books, but you still love their channel. This one was easy because so many of you have slightly or significantly different taste in books than me, and I love your channels. But I chose 3. Kayla from Kayla Rayne. I love Kayla. We are like super buddies, especially on Twitter. We're huge Twitter buddies. Kayla and I do not necessarily have the same taste in books. Sometimes our taste in books overlaps, but a lot of times it does not. But I love Kayla's channel. I love what she says. I love the way she sticks up for like the things that she believes in and diversity in books. And I love the way that she calls constantly for intersectional feminism when she is reading books that are supposed to be feminist. And that is something that I overlook and Kayla doesn't, and I really admire that about her. Then Jane from Yes, Miss Jane. I don't think we necessarily have different taste in books, but I think that like I basically aspirationally want to read everything that, I mentioned this above. I basically want to read everything she reads and mentions, and I haven't read any of it. And so like we have different taste in books because she actually has read it and I haven't yet. And that is why I put her on this list. But basically it's just aspirationally like, Jane, I want to read the books you do. And then third and finally, Tara from Literally Tara. We have different taste in books. I started watching Tara's channel because she's a librarian, and I used to be very afraid of librarians, and I was trying to inoculate myself against fear of librarians. But like a lot of the books she reads, I may never read. But I love the way she describes them. I love the way she talks about them. She used to do this really great series called Fast 5 Fridays, where she would describe 5 books on a single topic in 5 minutes or less, I believe. Which was like ridiculously amazing. And I love watching her channel because I love seeing what she is reading, because occasionally I am interested in a book that she's read and I read it and it's amazing. Like Tara is the first person who told me to read The Sacred Lives of Minnow Bly, and you guys know The Sacred Lives of Minnow Bly was one of my favorite debuts that I read last year. It was like number 4 on the list of favorite debuts. So those are the wonderful ladies whose taste in books is not the same as mine, but is excellent. Question 14. Name a booktuber who impresses you with the amount of books they read. There's literally only one answer for this, guys. Kirsty from Melbourne on My Mind. She reads so many books. She reads so many books. That woman. Mind blowing. Like, Kirsty is genuinely a very fast reader, and it is just jaw-droppingly amazing. Question 15 is for shoutouts. You're supposed to shout out a channel that has less than 500 subscribers, a channel that has between 500 and 10,000 subscribers, and a channel that has more than 10,000 subscribers. Channels that are less than 500 subscribers, I have two, Raul from Latin Lecture and Anna from Fantana. So Raul is great. He is one of the only men on this list. One of the things I love is that he talks about occasionally in his videos kind of being bilingual and the impact that's had on his reading and other things. And he just is so open, and I'm describing this poorly, but you should just check out his channel. He is great, and I love the contributions he brings to this community and the part of this community that he is. Anna from Fantana did a fantastically wonderful song review of Fangirl. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. It's amazing. And I am trying to convince her to do more videos about books because I am hungry for her content. But she has a couple great book videos out there, and she has a couple really awesome covers of song videos that are not book videos but are beautiful anyway. And so you should definitely check out her channel. And she should definitely make more book videos. Between 500 and 10,000 subscribers, which is what I fall into now. When I was tagged in this, I didn't. You guys are amazing. I have Arthur from Chapter Select. I've talked about him previously. His Discovery Disney is amazing series, and you should check him out if you haven't already. Greater than 10,000 subscribers. I have three people that I'm mentioning here. Hannah from Clockwork Reader. I don't always watch her videos, but whenever I do, I am just struck by how intelligent she is in them, and I really like her tone and how she talks about books, and it's great, and I really appreciate it. Trina from Between Chapters. She created this tag, but she just cares so deeply about this community, and her videos are great. She edits them in very interesting different ways, and she has great things to say about books, and I love Trina. And then I could not make this Booktuber shoutout video without shouting out Sam from Thoughts on Tomes, Samantha from Thoughts on Tomes. Her channel is wonderful. Her channel literally, guys, so I started my channel because I was thinking that something was missing from Booktube, and I was gonna fill that hole. And then I realized that Sam had been already filling that hole for 6+ months, and she was so great and amazing at it, and I was just being silly. And it was okay because I love her videos. I love her book chats. I didn't know they existed before I came up with my title of my channel, I promise. But I think the very first one I saw was bad boys in fiction, and she talked about her love for bad boys in fiction, but only in fantasy and sci-fi and not contemporary. And I was so confused because I've always been kind of confused with everyone's obsession with the Darkling. I love the Darkling as a villain. I think he's an amazing villain. I do not what? I don't understand him as a romantic interest. I don't understand people who ship him with various characters. I don't understand people who ship him with themselves. And I was in the comments was I don't understand this. Explain this to me. And Sam and some of her commenters were so great. They explained things to me in length. Samantha has literally the best comment section that I have found on YouTube. Her people commenting on her videos are so great, and that is not an accident. That is because of the content that Samantha makes, and the discussions that she fosters, and the way that she supports kind of healthy discussion of books on her channel that I love so much. I am so grateful to call her my friend, and I love her channel. And I love all of these people's channels, which is why this video is 20 minutes long. I'm so sorry, guys. I will try to cut it in editing, but I'm probably only going to be able to cut 5 minutes out, so I'm so sorry. So many of you who are wonderful, and I'm sure I've missed people, and there's people I've forgotten, and I've tried to, I clearly named multiple people for every category, and I'm still missing some of you. The great beauty of this tag is that everyone that I've mentioned in this video is tagged. Some of them have already done this video, so I will try to link that below who have already done this tag, and you can watch their original people they talked about. And some of them have probably not done this tag, and please take this opportunity, do this tag, Tell me about the booktubers you know, because that's the great thing about this community is I know a tiny fraction of this community. But there are so many great, amazing booktubers out there that I don't know. And I want to hear from you guys who fills these 15 questions and who is the answer to these 15 questions in your mind and in your experience and in the corner of YouTube that you are part of. So tag to all of the people I mentioned here, and I can't wait to see what you guys say. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so sorry this is so long, and I love all of you so much. Bye.